Iran-Russia relations have historically been defined by a patron-client dynamic, with Iran frequently receiving military and technical cooperation from Russia. However, around 2022, this dynamic altered significantly due to geopolitical necessities, specifically Russia's growing separation from the West and its military requirements in Ukraine. In a major reversal of their usual roles, Iran emerged as a significant provider of military drones and other weapons to Russia. This shift demonstrates a deepening of strategic ties that goes beyond simple military collaboration to include economic and technological engagements. According to Western press reports, Iran has greatly boosted its military assistance for Russia. This includes providing thousands of Shahd combat drones and the development of a drone production facility on Russian soil. In a further strengthening of this support, Iran has also provided short-range ballistic missiles to Russia, as reported by CNN in September. It's quite likely that Iran will face military penalties following a massive missile attack by Israel on October 1st, which was in assistance to its ally, Hezbollah. In preparation for possible countermeasures, Iran is reportedly evaluating advanced Russian military technologies such as S-400 surface-to-air missile systems, electronic warfare equipment, and fighter planes. These steps are part of Iran's larger aim to strengthen its defensive and offensive capabilities in the region. Iran has pushed ahead with modernizing its air force by securing the acquisition of Russian Sukhoi Su-35 fighter jets, according to remarks from its deputy defense minister in late 2023. Though an agreement has been confirmed for an undefined number of aircraft, specifics about the timeframe for delivery remain unknown. Since the inception of the Syrian civil war in 2011, Iran and Russia have emerged as important allies of the Syrian regime, providing overt military support. Concurrently, Russia's relations with Western nations have worsened due to incidents like the Russo-Ukrainian War, the 2018 Skripal poisoning incident in the United Kingdom, and alleged interference in Western political processes, leading to sanctions from the US and Europe. In response, Russia has enhanced its military relations with Iran. Particularly following the JCPOA Accord, President Vladimir Putin removed the embargo on the S-300 missile system in 2015, culminating in its delivery to Iran in November 2016. This was part of a larger $10 billion weapons deal that included helicopters, aircraft, and artillery systems. In January 2021, Iran, China, and Russia conducted the third joint naval exercise in the northern Indian Ocean and Sea of Oman, beginning a series of cooperative military drills that started in 2019. Military relations between the two nations expanded significantly after 2022, with Iran not only supplying drones but also exchanging technology and offering training for their operation. This cooperation was mutually beneficial, assisting Russia in its military endeavors and providing Iran with leverage in Russian technological advancements. Economically, Iran looked to Russia as a partner in avoiding restrictions that affected both countries due to their corresponding geopolitical positions and actions in the international arena. Let's take a little pause. If you like our articles, please click the like button to help us grow even more. Share your views and opinions in the comments. Your participation helps us improve. Thank you. Iran's admission to BRICS in 2024 was interpreted as a diplomatic success for Tehran, allowing it to claim a decrease in its international isolation. While continuing to face major challenges under US sanctions, membership in BRICS, which includes Russia, is anticipated to strengthen Iran's perspective on global economic issues and offer a platform for increased collaboration with other emerging economies. The alliance has now reached a climax with the Iranian president meeting President Putin at a regional conference in Turkmenistan. They discussed escalating hostilities involving Israel, Iran, and its allied groups, as stated by Russian state media. This discussion happened in anticipation of an upcoming strategic collaboration arrangement between the two nations. Putin underlined the significance of the effective growth of Russia-Iranian relations. President Raisi reiterated Putin's sentiments, emphasizing the building of economic and cultural relationships between their nations, as indicated by the Iranian news agency IRNA. Raisi criticized what he described as Israel's brutal methods in Lebanon and called for an end to harm to civilians, attributing support for Israel's behavior to Western nations. The discussion also focused on the current military action by Israeli soldiers in southern Lebanon against Hezbollah, which is endorsed by Iran. The two leaders criticized the targeting of civilian regions by Israel in its conflicts in Lebanon and Gaza. Looking ahead, Raisi voiced optimism that the strategic collaboration deal would be concluded during the next BRICS summit, following Putin's invitation to Russia. By 2023, the trade volume between Iran and Russia had considerably increased, reaching an estimated $5 billion, up from $1.5 billion in 2020. This growth is partly owing to improved financial and banking collaboration between the two nations, making efforts to avoid sanctions by replacing the dollar and euro with the national currencies in bilateral trade. For the first quarter of 2024, bilateral trade increased by 48% compared to the same period in the prior year. This rise includes a considerable increase in Russian exports to Iran, which increased 77%, while imports from Iran to Russia increased by 13%. This growth trajectory shows strengthening economic relationships motivated by both countries' strategic interests and attempts to minimize the impact of international sanctions. In 2023, the trade volume between Iran and China reached $14.6 billion, representing a drop of 6.2% from the $15.5 billion reported in 2022. This drop is underlined by a significant decrease in Chinese imports from Iran, which dropped by 27% to $4.5 billion, despite the small development in China's exports to Iran. Looking ahead into the first quarter of 2024, the trade value of Iran-China relations was said to be $4 billion, indicating persistent interaction between the two nations. The partnership between Russia and Iran is a concern for both the United States and European nations. The US sees Russia-Iran collaboration, notably in military and defense technologies, as a significant threat. This connection is perceived as a direct challenge to US interests in the Middle East and globally, as it strengthens Iran's military capabilities and supports Russia's actions in Ukraine. European concerns match those of the United States, emphasizing the strategic and security problems posed by increasing Russia-Iran relations. Europe is particularly concerned about the military cooperation between the two nations, including the transfer of drones and missiles that may endanger European security. The European response, as indicated, requires a combination of enhanced intelligence activities, diplomatic engagements, and economic sanctions meant to restrict Iran's capability to engage in weapons transfers and military escalations. The narrative doesn't end here. There's a third player, Turkey. Turkey has an important but challenging role in the partnership between Russia and Iran, primarily as a strategic partner that balances its interactions with both countries, alongside its commitments to Western alliances such as NATO. Turkey's relationship with Russia and Iran is primarily motivated by its geographic location and the necessity to address security issues in surrounding regions, particularly Syria. Turkey has cooperated closely with Russia and Iran within the context of the Astana process to resolve concerns linked to the Syrian war, trying to diminish violence and promote political solutions. Economically, Turkey acts as an important hub for Russian oil and natural gas, which is essential to its energy security and economic interests. Despite Western nations imposing sanctions on Russia, Turkey continues to engage in significant commerce with Russia, including re-exporting oil products, which tripled in 2023. This economic connection emphasizes Turkey's significance as a bridge between Russia and global markets, bypassing some of the constraints Western sanctions have placed on Russian military procurement. Turkey's acquisition of the S-400 missile defense system from Russia is particularly notable, demonstrating its willingness to engage with Russia and the potential difficulties with NATO. This acquisition has led to tensions with the US and other NATO members, but highlights Turkey's ambition to diversify its military partnerships and increase its defense capabilities. While collaborating with Russia and Iran, Turkey also maintains its status within Western structures. This balancing act is clear in its parallel engagement with Western and regional powers, navigating complex diplomatic waters to preserve national interests. For example, Turkey's participation in negotiating deals like the Black Sea Grain Program illustrates its crucial role in mediating between the global North and South, underlining its strategic importance and relevance for both Western and Eastern powers. Turkey's collaboration with Russia and Iran is important for regional stability, particularly in terms of conflicts in Syria and the wider Middle East. By serving as a mediator and cooperative partner in regional security arrangements, Turkey helps to manage power dynamics in the region. This potentially leads to more stability and less conflict.